Hello and welcome to a brand new video on the sagemax channel. My name is Müller, and in this video I'll show you step by step how to apply the universal coloring system Paint 3D using the wet in wet technique. I'll explain how to handle the pastes correctly and share some valuable tips on what to watch out for. Enough talking. Let's dive right in and have some fun with this video. Before we get started, 3 quick points. First, I'm definitely not a full-blown pro when it comes to staining, so please forgive me if not every brushstroke is perfect. Second, there's no single right way, everyone has their own style, and that's exactly what Paint 3D was developed for, a system that gives you the freedom to fully express your creativity. Third, we've got plenty more videos planned where we'll show you different styles and techniques for working with the pastes, of course, also featuring real pros. By the way, if you already use Paint 3D and would like us to showcase your style and techniques in a video, feel free to contact us at marketing@sagemax.com. Alright, enough talking. Let's get started. As mentioned earlier, today's video is all about the efficient wet in wet technique. Its big advantage, ideally, it only requires one firing unless an additional texture firing is desired. That makes this technique especially quick and time saving. Since I also want to show you the texture application today, we'll be working with 2 firings. Of course, you can always add intermediate firings if the result doesn't fully convince you, but for this video, the goal is clear. The restoration should be finalized in just 2 firings. Here you can see the zirconia restoration we'll be working on today. It's a massive demonstration piece made from the high-strength multi-zirconia Next ZRT Multi. The restoration was neither adjusted in its presintered nor in its sintered state, nor was it sandblasted with aluminum oxide. While this isn't typical practice, it has no effect on the handling of Paint 3D pastes. In daily practice, zirconia restoration should be sandblasted with 50 micrometers aluminum oxide at 1 bar and then thoroughly cleaned with a steam cleaner. When using the wet in wet technique, I always start with the glaze application. Before use, the paste should always be stirred thoroughly with a plastic spatula. Only then do I take out the required amount. And here comes the first important tip. The glaze must not be diluted with liquid when using the wet in wet technique. Why? Because this alters the consistency and thus the thixotropic properties of the glaze paste. This can cause the embedded effects to flow and negatively affect the surface gloss. In the first step, I apply the undiluted glaze evenly and thinly to the tooth-colored areas. Thanks to its honey-like consistency, it's very easy to apply. It lays like a second skin over the surface, doesn't retract and doesn't bead. Once an even thin layer has been applied everywhere, I prepare the effect pastes I need. For this demo case, I selected the shades Dentin A, Enamel Smoke and Deep Sea, Effect Peach and Peanut, as well as Intense Effect Hazelnut, Milk, Vanilla and Espresso. In the next step, I slightly adjust the consistency of the pastes with the universal liquid. Make sure the pastes don't get too runny, otherwise the effects may in the glaze. Now I start embedding the effects directly into the still wet glaze. I begin with the Dentin paste to intensify the chroma. For this, I apply it in the body area of the teeth and gently work it into the glaze until the desired effect is achieved. Next comes Enamel Smoke along the marginal ridges and in the incisal third for gently gray shimmering translucency. Then I accentuate the incisal edge with a very diluted Effect Peach. Quick tip to soften color intensity, simply mix the effect shades with glaze. This makes them appear much softer and more subtle. For the halo effect, I use the specially developed Paste Effect Peanut. To highlight strongly shimmering translucent areas, I use enamel deep sea. Finally, I apply targeted accents with intense effect, vanilla, hazelnut, milk, and espresso. Let your imagination run wild, or use patient photos as a guide to achieve the desired effects. After staining the tooth-colored areas, I prepare the pastes for the gingival portions. To do this, I place different amounts of Gingiva Base 3 on the mixing plate and combine them with Gingiva Effect Guave. This creates different shades of pink for the gingiva. By the way, Gingiva Effect Guave is ideal for the gingival margin area, a true all-rounder for natural transitions. I also combine Gingiva Effect Pitahaya, Papaya, and Lychee with a bit of Base 3 to harmonize the shade differences. Important, there's no standard recipe here, every patient case is different. The best approach is to fire your own gingiva shade guide. That way you'll achieve the best results. I then blend the pastes and adjust the consistency with universal liquid. Personally, I prefer a smooth but not overly fluid consistency. Now I first apply the mixture with the highest guava content at the gingival margin and blend it gently downwards. Next comes the darker gradation, and I continue layer by layer further down. Bony gingiva areas, that is where bone shines strongly through, I leave blank at first and stain them later with the previously mixed combination of Base 3 and Lychee. After that, I continue applying the pink pastes. Highly vascularized areas I imitate with pure Base 3 paste. For veins and capillary effects, I use Gingiva Effect Pitahaya. Finally, I recreate orange shimmering gum area with a mixture of Base 3 and Papaya. Now the restoration is ready for the first firing. As you can see, the pastes remain exactly in place, so you can take time without stress. Especially for large span restorations, this effect is extremely helpful. You can take short breaks anytime without anything running or shifting. And here's the result after the first firing. All effects remained exactly in place, and the surfaces shine evenly and naturally. As announced at the beginning of the video, I also want to show you the texture application. And that's exactly what we'll do next. For this, I take the required amount of texture fluo and gingiva texture and place them on the mixing plate. Important, before using the texture, it must be activated. To do this, lightly tap the mass with a spatula and flatten it. You'll notice the texture becomes smoother and much easier to apply. The texture is then applied directly to the restoration with a silicone shaper or a slightly stiffer brush. Attention! The texture must not be diluted with liquid, as this negatively affects the firing stability of the paste. The texture paste is excellent for firing on contact points, optimizing tooth shape, or creating targeted surface structures. In our example, I use it to adjust the tooth shape. Optionally, the texture can also be tinted at a ratio of 12:1. Areas that don't yet shine optimally after the first firing can be reglazed in the SAM step. Of course, additional color corrections can also be made according to your needs. After applying to the tooth-colored areas, the gingiva texture follows. It acts like a soft filter over the stain and creates a naturally appearing surface texture. Finally, the restoration is fired under vacuum. In the texture firing, a crucial step for a bubble-free surface. Notes on the texture pastes. The firing parameters listed in the Quick Start Guide apply to a layer thickness of approximately 0.8 millimeters. If the texture is applied thicker, the energy input must be adjusted accordingly. This means increase the firing temperature or reduce the heating rate. The holding time should remain unchanged. If the surface appears too glossy after firing or the texture barely visible, this may indicate excessive energy input. In this case, reduce the final temperature or increase the heating rate. If the surface appears too matte or slightly whitish grayish, this indicates insufficient energy input. Here, the final temperature should be increased or the heating rate reduced. Here you can see the final result after the second and final texture firing. Of course, the surfaces can still be adjusted afterwards, rubber polished or high gloss polished, but I won't go into that in this video. My main goal was to show you how easy the pastes are to handle, and that even with little experience you can achieve an acceptable, natural looking result. It's simply a lot of fun working with this product and being creative with it. At this point, I'll say goodbye. Thanks a lot for watching. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any future videos. See you next time. We'll definitely meet again soon.